Welcome to English Learning Through Podcasts, a daily 5-minute program from the Lock One English podcast. This program is designed for English learners, so we speak a little slower and we use words and phrases especially written for people learning English. On this program, we answer a listener's question about the terms coast, shore, and beach. We explain usage of adjectives and adverbs in conversation. Next, learn the health effects of daylight savings time. Then hear the open vote on American stories. But first, this week on Ask a Teacher, we answer a question from Doyen in Korea about the usage of 3 similar words. Here's the question. Hello. I want to know the differences between the beach, coast, and shore. Thank you. You ask a useful question, Doyen. Beach, shore, and coast are related words, but they have some important differences. Beach. The word beach is the most specific of the 3 words. The Collins Online Dictionary defines beach as a nearly level stretch of pebbles and sand beside a sea, lake, etc., often washed by high water. Ocean beaches are popular places to visit. We often use the phrase "at the beach" to express the idea of spending time in the general area of the beach, as in the following example. They will vacation at the beach this summer. We usually say "on the beach" when describing specific activities we do there. She went for a walk on the beach. I'm going to spend my afternoon on the beach. They are playing football on the beach. Coast. The Learning English word book defines coast as land on the edge of the ocean. We can use the word to describe a wide area. However, for example, Baltimore, Maryland, is an East Coast city even though it is several kilometers from the Atlantic Ocean. Here are more examples of how we can use coast in a sentence. The Florida coast has many nice towns and beaches. The coast of California extends over 1,300 kilometers. Like the expression "at the beach," we can say "on the coast" when describing the general area, as in the following example. Her mother has lived on the coast for 30 years. We can use the expression "off the coast of" to describe an area of ocean or sea relative to a place on land. The island is about 60 kilometers off the coast of Africa. Shore. The Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary defines the word shore as the land bordering a usually large body of water. Shore can sometimes mean the beach, but not always. For example, you might swim to shore and come out of the water onto a beach, but you could also come to shore at a port with no beach in sight. And we can use shore when discussing the general area, just like we do with the word coast. The following example shows this meaning. The Northern Shore has many nice towns and beaches. For our readers and listeners, what are your questions about American English? We want to hear from you. Do you like to spend time at the coast? This is Everyday Grammar. Imagine 2 American students are talking outside of their school. Let's listen to the imaginary conversation. Today is going slow. Yeah, I guess we should study for our grammar test. That sounds like a terrible idea. Yeah, but if we don't study, we won't do good on the test. Fine, let's go study our notes quick. Then we can play video games. These bad students may hate grammar, but they just taught you some common grammatical structures in conversational American English. In today's report, we will study how conversational grammar differs from written and formal grammatical structures. We will show you how some Americans use adjectives and adverbs in casual conversation. Adjectives are words that give information about nouns. They generally appear before nouns, although they also appear after linking verbs. Here are 2 examples. You are a good student. Learning English is fun. In the 2 example sentences, the words good and fun are adjectives. They are telling you something about a noun. Adverbs are often used to modify adjectives or verbs. They give information about reason, manner, time, and so on. For example, the adverb loudly appears in this sentence. We sang loudly. The adverb loudly modifies the past tense verb sang. It tells about the way in which the subject, we sang. Adverbs often have an ly ending, but there are many that do not. You can read more about adverbs in past everyday grammar stories. Let's think back to the conversation we heard at the beginning of the story. Today is going slow. Yeah, I guess we should study for our grammar test. That sounds like a terrible idea. Yeah, but if we don't study, we won't do good on the test. Fine, let's go study our notes quick. Then we can play video games. Notice that the words are used differently from what might be taught in an English class. In casual conversation, Americans often use adjective forms in place of adverbs. They may use adjective forms to modify verbs. For example, the students use good, a word that is normally an adjective, as an adverb. One student says, We won't do good on the test. In writing and informal conversation, Americans generally do not use the word good this way. Instead, they use the word well. In formal writing or speaking, you would be more likely to see or hear the sentence, "We won't do well on the test." Americans also may use an adverb, but choose not to say the ly ending. For example, the student says, "Goodbye, please subscribe Lock 1 English podcast."